after the intro, I will. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing well. Once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Victim No More podcast. Of course, my name is Bobby Patterson, aka Bobby P. I am a proud life changer with this amazing energy, company, movement, spirit called Total Life Changes. And the purpose of the Victim No More podcast is to highlight success stories where individuals have literally transitioned from being a victim from certain circumstances in their life and literally has transitioned into being victorious, and total life changes is literally a part of that story. And before I go into our guest this evening, what I want to do is actually just show you a little short video package of how do we got to this place where we are right now with this particular guest, because they're a little bit different. They are not former, but once you get to this point, you're always going to be a transformation contest winner. And what's unique about the guest today is that they won back in 2018. So this is actually going to be more like an update. Because, see, what a lot of people don't understand is that once you win the transformation contest, life doesn't end. As a matter of fact, it goes to another level. And so her story is amazing. It's incredible. I'm pretty sure is one that you're not going to forget. But before I bring her on, I'm just going to show you just a little bit of who we're going to talk with today.
My health was not good. Cholesterol high, blood sugar high. I was just depressed. I had just totally let myself go. Just let myself go. I was on Instagram and I was seeing all of these before and after pictures of people. I just seen these people. They just look different. And I want to look different. I want to feel different. One day I was at the discount mall and I just happened to look in this lady's shop and it was like heaven. I'm so serious. I seen the bottle of Nutriburst. I seen the bottle of NRG. But my most concern was because I've seen that pack of tea with so many pictures was if they can drink this or if they can use this and they can look like that, that's what I wanted. And so I was in the shop and Patricia, which is my sponsor now, she walked up in there with this big old smile on her face. I said, I just want the tea. I just want the tea. I kind of just broke down, like, and she, she assured me and encouraged me that it was gonna be okay, and when she told me I could lose 5 pounds in 5 days, I lost 7 in 5 days, and that was it. I am happy. I am free. That is who I am today. I went from 263 pounds. Before I left for the airport this morning, I weighed 192 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the amazing, the incredible, the beautiful Executive Director, Miss Lakendra Jones. Thank you for coming to the Victim No More podcast.
Goodness.
My goodness, how are you today?
Like I said earlier, I feel amazing. I'm good.
Brought back some memories, didn't it? I'm pretty sure those pictures brought back some memories.
Yes,
hey,
it did.
Before we go any further, I want to encourage any and everyone that's watching right now, please share. Let folks know, hey, look, they're in for a treat this evening. And also for those who may be catching this later on in the replay, please share it even after the replay. That's very, very important. I appreciate the support. But right now, what we're going to do, we're going to talk to Lakendra. First of all, thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. This is an honor.
Yes, it is. It is an honor. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This right here is, I feel that it's different. For one, you being a transformation contest winner, I'm one myself, but I just went through the experience back in April at the Houston event. But what I want to do is kind of take this, little step by step. And of course, the event in Los Angeles back in 2018, when you were part of the transformation contest, just give us a a roadmap as to who Lakendra was before that fateful day that you discovered TLC? Who was Lakendra? What was going on with Lakendra at that particular time?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Just to say, looking at those pictures, like, wow. That is, oh my goodness. Just looking at those pictures. But before April of 2018, I just go back probably a couple years before that.
Mhm.
I was first of all in a marriage that was failing, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not gonna say that, certain things that, that marriage needed were not there, because they were.
Mhm.
It's just that who he married, that wasn't me. Okay, that wasn't
Okay.
me. Maybe the ideal marriage for someone else, but for me, it wasn't, because I wasn't myself.
Well, can I
Okay,
ask you a question? Was
go
it
ahead.
an issue of maybe he had a certain expectation of who he thought you were to be, or maybe perhaps he was trying to make you to be? What was it? One of those type of situations?
Actually, it wasn't. It was the mask. A lot of us wear
Okay.
masks very well. Okay.
Hmm.
And it was a mask. He kind of met a person that I wasn't, because I still dressed the part, right?
Okay.
Um, certain things, we have our, certain days. So certain days I'm this way, certain days that I'm that way.
Hmm.
But who I was, I guess to just say, I just wasn't myself. I wasn't
Hmm.
myself. And it wasn't that he was trying to make me be something that I wasn't. I gave him somebody that I wasn't. And
Okay.
that's just who
Okay.
that's who he was attracted to. That's who he was in love with, at the time. And then over time, I just started pulling that stuff off. I
Okay.
just started pulling it off. And as I began to pull it off, you know, that's when things kind of went like a spiral.
Okay. Okay. Now, in the process of you, I guess you could say, taking off the layers, what precipitated that as far as happening is concerned? There, when I teach transformation, because I teach the 5 steps to transformation, and the first step, I say that you got to have a C moment, which stands for significant emotional event. What was the significant emotional event, or maybe it was a series of significant emotional events that actually led to the beginning of getting down to the core of who Lakendra really is?
I was just tired of, again, the mask. I was being everything that everybody wanted me to be, right?
Hmm.
And I was not being myself. I was giving everybody else, including family, friends, I was giving them something that, it was me, but it was not me, right? I'm
Okay.
trapped in this body that I did not want to be in. I'm in a marriage, right?
Right.
And that's another story of how I even became, got there. I'm in a marriage that I don't want to be in, but
Hmm.
emotionally, I was just not myself. I was not happy. I
Okay.
just wasn't happy.
Okay. Okay. Now, speaking as far as dealing with the body issue, because you knew that that's not who you were. What what led to the point where you said, you know what, this is not me. I need to make a change. What was there, a just one significant event, or was there a series of other events that just culminated into, I'm just tired? Because see, a lot of times, and we run into this, I'm pretty sure, as a life changer and dealing with customers. What happens a lot of times is that folks will try the products because they think that that's the magic pill. They think that we got the magic tea, we have the magic pill, we have the magic this, the magic that, And the reality is that people don't change until they are tired. And then once they get tired and they are ready to go through the process, then they find out that the real miracle is them. The products just help assisted them in that journey. So what was the moment where you said, you know what, enough is enough? I am tired of this version of Lakendra.
You know what? It's funny that you even asked me that, because when you sent me the flyer, right, and that picture, and you even, you showed it, you showed it here of
Okay.
me standing in that Harley Davidson jacket, right?
Right.
That was the moment that I embraced being, being heavy, being
Wow.
a big girl. And that's how I know that the Holy Spirit is just, this was just meant, right? When I
Right.
seen that picture, I had just started a relationship, which said, because I was in a bad place, really, right there.
Okay.
And I had just went into the relationship where some men like big women, right?
Okay.
And I embraced it. And when I say I embraced it, there was no more big t-shirts. There wasn't no more, hiding who I was. I just embraced it. But the moment that I said enough was enough is when I went to the doctor and they were talking foreign to me. I didn't know what high cholesterol, meant. I didn't know what borderline diabetic, meant. I didn't know what lymphedema meant, my thyroids. They wanted to, have me to have surgery. These things were foreign to me. And then after all that was said and done, he said, "You're morbidly obese." What? I've never heard that in my life. And so even and that is when the problems in the marriage really started, because even him, he embraced, you know what I'm saying? And then my weight will fluctuate because of some other emotional things. And I'm like, but I thought I was this, but I thought I was that, having this out of body experience, but deep in the inside of me, in the core of me, I knew that was not me, right? I knew that was not me. And I made up in my mind at that moment, I did not care what I had to do at that point. Something has to change. It has to change.
Okay. Now, of course, me doing a little bit of research and just understanding who I'm interviewing here this evening and who I'm talking with, I had actually had the opportunity to look at a video where you had done a call and you had spoke about a particular condition that you deal with as far as your legs are concerned. And I think that's very important to bring up, because a lot of times when people come to us, they're not going to tell us everything, because everybody has their stuff that they're not going to reveal right up front, because that's just part of the process.
Right.
And a lot of times folks will say, well, what I'm dealing with I don't think nobody is dealing with. I don't think anybody is ever going to deal with what I'm dealing with right here, because a lot of times we deal with conditions that isolate us in our spirit and in our mind. But I want you to kind of go into that particular condition and how remarkable it is as far as your profession and how you're able to do what you're doing now. So just speak on that just a little bit for us.
Okay. And what it is called lymphedema. Okay. And it's a certain the core of it is just called dema, right? But it's so many different lymphedemas and so many different demas.
Okay.
And the one that I happen to have is lymphedema.
Okay.
And there are different stages. And if you're unfamiliar with lymphedema, what it is they're fat cells, right? Okay. And some of us, whether it's hereditary, whether it's food, whatever it is, over a period of time, especially, and here's the thing, I've done my homework.
Okay.
And we have doctors here in the United States that will treat it, but you would have to go to another country, to like really get like intense treatment, something that could possibly cure it. And what it is like I said, some people, it attacks the entire body. You
Okay.
know, it attacks the from the neck down. Okay. And then some people, it only attacks the lower extremities. And for
Okay.
me, it attacked the lower extremity. And then when you look at it, like I said, it's different stages of it.
Mm-hmm.
The stage that I was in, you really can't, you have to really be looking at, like really staring to
Mm-hmm.
really see it. But when I was at my largest weight, you couldn't help but see it. You know,
Okay.
sometimes I couldn't wear shoes. And I would go in stores and I would like literally cry because I wanted to wear certain shoes and I couldn't wear certain shoes, right? Because I had so much
Wow.
inflammation, so much swelling. And then here's the thing too, in certain stages, instead of attacking, you know, both legs with
Mm-hmm.
my situation, instead of attacking both legs, it only attacked one, right? And
Oh, okay.
so yes, you can really, like I said, you can really tell when I was at my heaviest weight. But and here's the crazy part. Here is the crazy part. Once I start drinking the product, I didn't even pay, I knew I had inflammation, and like I said, I was, treated for the lymphedema, but nothing worked, right? And
Mm-hmm.
until I start consuming the product, drinking the tea,
Okay.
and the weight began to fall off, my legs just went down. My ankle went down. It was crazy. And so the end part, I went from wearing like slides, some uncomfortable gym shoes,
Mm-hmm.
to not wearing heels. So we can wear heels again.
Now let me ask you this so we can confirm. Are you referring to this tea?
Yes. I am referring to this tea. Yes.
Okay, okay. Just wanted to be sure, wanted to make it clear.
Yes.
Now, of course, I just want to put out there, we do not make any medical claims.
No, we
do
don't.
not claim that the tea or any other products that are with or associated with Total Life Changes mitigates or cure any diseases at all. What we're doing, we're giving our testimonies, we're giving
Right.
our experiences as far as what those products has done for us in the consumption of those particular products. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yes.
We need to put that out there.
Yes, we do. No medical claims.
No medical claims, none whatsoever. And so the reason why I wanted you to actually talk a little bit about that particular condition is because what is your profession? What does Lakendra do that she does so well, I see, that makes it an absolute it's like a miracle with someone dealing with that particular condition, but yet you're able to do that. What do you do?
I'm a hairstylist.
And hairstylists have to do what all day?
Stand on their feet all day.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing. So
Yes.
here it is. We have a situation where you have a condition that can literally, if you're not careful, debilitate you.
Right.
But then you had discovered the tea. And as you consumed the tea, you started noticing that, hey, wait a minute. I understand what the doctor is saying, but look at what is really happening to me right now. And it's to the point, yeah, you wear heels. I think just about every picture that you have, I noticed she wears heels.
Yes.
So I always thought that to be incredible. Now, what I want to do at this particular point is kind of transition and actually go from you desiring that tea, and then how did you get to the place of actually getting that tea, that story? Because we're tired now. We're looking for a change. So just pick it up from there and kind of guide us through as to what happened in the discovery of that tea and Total Life Changes as a whole.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just go here. I would never forget. It was in 2012.
Okay.
I was here in Grand Rapids, where I currently am now. And I was in a church service, and I never forget it. I was sitting in the back with my family.
Okay.
And church was packed. And we had a guest speaker who had came and was speaking. And he was just like calling people out, right? Just
Right.
prophesying to different people. And then right before he said, he called my name, he was prophesying to a lady, right? And this
Okay.
lady, she does hair as well. And so when he got done, prophesying to her, he said, well, I hear your last name Jones. I hear Jones. And he said, your first name started with an L. He said, I can't pronounce it, so you might as well just stand up. Woo, wait. I was like, oh my God. And so I stood up, and he said, it's and he was trying to get it out.
He tried to
And
get
so
it
I
out.
said, Lakendra, and he was like, that's it. And he just began to just prophesy, just talk about, some things that, was, what happened in my life. And he said, wait a minute. He said, you do he pointed back to the lady that, he was talking to before me. He was like, you do hair. And the lady was like, yes, sir. He said, but you do hair too. So I was like, yes, I do hair. And then he was like, but I see you with this company, right? And then he said, oh, and he just kept like making certain gestures. And he said, I see it's like a weight loss company. He said, I see you with this company. And so at the time, which was ironic, I was with a weight loss company, right?
Okay.
And I told him. He was like, nah, that's not it. So
Wow.
he got to saying like, other, companies. And he was like, body by five. Well, nah, that ain't it. And he said, well, you know what? He said, whatever company it is, it's going to totally change your life. And I was like, wow. I was like, wow. And he said, y'all look at her. He told the pastor, first lady, the associate pastor, he said, that is one of the wealthiest women in this congregation. And you already know I lost it. He said, somebody go catch her. Because I lost it. And it wasn't until, and like I said, that was in 2012.
Okay.
And fast forwarding to October 2016, again,
Okay.
I will never forget it. I had already been to the doctor, right? Going through, what the doctor had me going through. And I was in Atlanta at the time. And I was doing hair in a discount mall.
Okay.
And in between my breaks, in between my clients, I will walk the discount mall. Because of some other situations, I really couldn't work out. I really couldn't, go to the gym like, other people. So I walked. And prior to me walking, I would be on Instagram, right?
Right.
And I'm seeing everybody, holding up their teeth. And I'm like, and I heard like so many other things, right? Because see, now I'm desperate. Sometimes we're desperate. And desperate turns into a made up mind, right? And so desperate turns into a choice. You're going to do this, right? And so I'm seeing everybody with this tea and they just posing with their before and after pictures.
Right.
And I'm like, man, come on, this tea cannot be just doing this. But I'm seeing so many results. And me personally, mentally, I'm thinking people photoshopping, their pictures. And I was even sharing with my team just the other day, I'm not about to Photoshop my pictures. I'm not.
Exactly.
That's
an integrity issue. And
right.
No, we're not going to do that.
And so, I didn't even, and then like I said, it wasn't in God's plan for me to Google it, right?
Okay.
Because he knows the plans he has for us, right? So I didn't think to click on somebody's page and see who had it or where they got it from, right?
Right.
I never forget, like I said, the day I'm in the discount mall and I'm walking between my clients and I just happened to look over in this lady's shop.
What did you see?
Okay. She had it all displayed, the NutriBurst. She had the tea, the NRG. It was crazy. She just had all of this stuff laid out. But to my demise, the store was closed.
Okay.
Right. But so when I did get a chance to talk to the, the store owner, she didn't have any, right? They were just on displays, right?
Okay.
And so I just told her, I said, listen, I didn't give her my story. I just said, whenever this lady comes in here to restock, I said, please, because guess what, Mr. Bobby? I literally for like, and that went on for maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. I will go around there every chance I got
Wow.
to see if this lady, came
Had to
back.
be.
Right. And she had, more products in. And so I left it alone. I didn't, because I had already told her, listen, if she come in here, just send her to me, okay?
Okay.
And I never forget the day. One of my friends we were sitting in there. She had came up and we were sitting there. We were at closing, getting ready to leave, and you also showed that. In come this beautiful smile, right? She had her bling on, and I knew where she was from because she had TLC plastered everywhere, right? And she is now my amazing coach, Coach Patricia Crawford. Oh my
wow.
goodness. She came in.
Patricia is amazing.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I just told her, I just want the tea. Yes, she gave me, her spiel. She introduced herself. She told me about the company. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. This is all I wanted. At that time, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I was not looking for nothing else, right? I just wanted this right here to see if this right here was going to work for me.
Right.
And
right.
so she did.
Okay.
She had gave me the tea and she told me how to prepare it.
Okay.
And in those first 5 days, I lost 7 pounds.
That's incredible. Now I hadn't shared this with you, but in my first 5 days, I lost 7 pounds.
Wow.
So whenever I tell my initial encounter as far as the tea is concerned, I had actually lost 7 pounds in the first 5 days. Wow. And I kind of want to, just for a little bit, want to park the car, if you will, as far as that encounter, that chance meeting that you had with Miss Patricia Crawford. I myself, my own personal story, I can't tell it without talking about the encounter that I had when I had met my future sponsor, which is Regional Director, Ms. Fern Morgan. And I noticed that when I heard you tell your story on a different video, I remember how you was telling that story and how you had met her. And I'm bringing that up because it is so important for us to recognize and honor those individuals that step in and literally change our life, because they don't maybe not even know it at that particular time, but they're fulfilling God's will in that particular moment, because we never know who we're going to impact from day to day. And so that's why it's so important to stay on our assignment. And what stood out to me is the honor in which you had spoke about her. And it stuck out to me so much. I was like, you know what? That touched me, because I talk about my sponsor the same way. I gave her an acronym, which is BSE, Best Sponsor Ever.
Okay.
Because I've had some bad sponsors, trust and believe. So therefore, what my sponsor did for me literally changed the trajectory as far as my life is concerned. And hold on, I got a notification here. Let me see who this is. Well, lo and behold, look who we have here. Regional Director, Miss Patricia Crawford. Welcome to the Victim No More podcast. I've been holding on to this one for a bit. I couldn't say nothing. But Miss Patricia,
oh my goodness,
Lakendra is amazing. Her story is amazing. But I want to say publicly in front of the whole world, thank you so very much for being who you are, being on your assignment, and walking in not only who you are, but what you're supposed to be doing. Because of that, you have made such a tremendous impact on other people's lives, and especially with Lakendra, because I see Lakendra going and rising and elevating.
Yes.
But that would not have happened if you would not have been doing what you were assigned to do.
Yes.
So I just want to just thank you. Just thank you, Patricia.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much.
Man, I am so excited, you all. I am Patricia Crawford, and I'm backstage and I'm listening to Lakendra and I'm smiling like a little kid back here, like, oh my goodness, she looks so beautiful. And I tell you, ever since Mr. Bobby and I met on Facebook, it's been nothing but an honor and a privilege just to be connected with this champion. So on Sunday, when Bobby asked me if I would be able to come on, I said, even if I have to change some things and move some things around, I don't want to miss this opportunity. First of all, to witness another door that the Lord has opened for Lakendra, another platform that she gets an opportunity to share. And then for me, another opportunity just to pour out some love on my beautiful sister. Lakendra, you are phenomenal. You are phenomenal, and you are an amazing leader. You know, Lakendra and I met about 5 years ago. And Lakendra, the one thing that I can say that has been so consistent about you is your demonstration of love and compassion that you have for people. It's just in you. And it's, it's just something that just comes out naturally. We were on a call on last night, Mr. Bobby, and it caught my attention because one of the young ladies said, Lakendra is her sponsor. And she said, I can always call Lakendra, not just for business, but regardless of whatever it is that I need. And she will listen, and I can be transparent, and I don't have to worry about being judged. And isn't that what it's all about?
Right.
In these uncertain times that we're living in, to have someone that you can talk to, not being worried about judgment, and just be transparent. And Lakendra, I know without a shadow of a doubt that you continue to show up with your love, with your passion. And I'm almost sure, because we all go through so much, right? I'm sure there are many times that you were listening, not just with your ear, but with your heart when you were going through something yourself. But you said, you know what? I'm going to show up. I'm going to listen because I know that God has got me through some things. So I'm going to be here for somebody else. Y'all, you already know, Mr. Bobby and everyone else, Lakendra's energy is contagious. It's contagious. It is contagious. And I heard her say one time, I don't do anything boring. Well, Lakendra made a salad. Man, you know, when somebody cooks something, we always say they put their foot in it. Lakendra put her foot in this salad, Mr. Bobby. That salad was so good. I'm like, where do you get all of this stuff? I will never forget that. But it's a part of her personality. Right. She does nothing boring. And Lakendra, you're just amazing. You know, you have positive influence for so many people. So many people, right? And I just want to say, don't be concerned about the things that you need God to do for you when you're showing up, because God sees your labor of love and he rewards like no one else can. Woo! And I just want to say, I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but may the Lord bless you and keep you. I pray that his face shines on you, that he's gracious towards you. I just thank God for what I'm seeing him do in your life. I'm excited about your now. I'm excited about your next. I just want God to see God continue to bless you, your children, your children's children, your extended family, your businesses. And can I say, in your next book? Yeah, I didn't stutter. I don't know anything about you and writing no book, but that's what I heard in your next book. And Mr. Bobby, if I can say this and not be out of order, as I was getting ready for this is what I felt the Lord was saying. Your daughter, Jasmine, and your son, there are some things on your heart that you're praying. God said he didn't forget, but let him do it. Let him do it. See, we know Kai. We see Kai all the time. We know Kai is there. And we know he got Kai, but the same way he has Kai, he has Jasmine. I don't remember your son's name, but he has your son. And I don't know, when I think of you, I think of like somebody like Esther. You know, Esther was the one who went before the king, and she said, if I perish, let me perish. But it was through Esther that a whole generation of people were saved. Come on, Esther. Come on, Esther. Yes, Lakendra, keep showing up, beautiful. Keep showing up and doing exactly what God has ordained for you to do. I'm going to stop there, Mr. Bobby. I hope I didn't take up too much time because I could just go on and talk about this queen. But thank you again just for the opportunity to come on and just pour some love out today.
Look, I'm keeping myself together here, so just bear with me. When this podcast started, I wanted to make sure that the Most High got the glory out of this because he's the one who told me to start this podcast. And I knew it was going to be different. You know, a definition of wisdom is understanding your difference from others. And so I embrace it. Nobody can do what I'm doing. No, it can be tried. Somebody can try to imitate it, but they're not going to be able to do it the way that I'm doing it because I'm doing it with the grace and the hand of the Most High, so that there's a certain favor that comes along with that. And just like you, can nobody be a Patricia Crawford?
No.
Can nobody walk and talk with authority like Patricia Crawford? So therefore, there is no need for anybody to apologize to be who they are on a platform that none of us own. I just happen to manage it, but everything belongs to him.
Yes.
So, you know, this moment that's happening, I was led to actually have you to come on, and I'm glad that this has happened. This has blessed me. It's an honor to have met you through this platform, and I'm looking forward to the day that we can actually meet in person. Because this is absolutely amazing. We are total life changers. This is what we do, but this is a people business. You can sell products all day long. As a matter of fact, you can become a millionaire. But if you're bankrupt in your spirit, then none of that means anything. And so one of the other purposes of this podcast is to make sure that people are encouraged when they watch this, when they see this podcast, they say, you know what, there's something different here. And they're going to walk away with something positive that they didn't have before they watch. And so I want to thank you for coming on. Oh my goodness, this blessed.
Thank you so much.
This blessed me stupid. That's I don't even have no other words right now.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Bobby.
Thank you, Patricia. And I'm pretty sure we will be touching bases and
absolutely
here very, very soon.
Thank you.
Before cause I don't know how, because this was mind blowing. But Coach, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, like even when we do our edifications, you know, Kai often, you know, just reminds her, you know, reminds our team that had it not been for Coach Patricia, my life would not have changed, you know, and that's just not the first time. I never forget when she called me, and like she said, I'm just a lovable people person. I was rooting Miss Wyatt on, right? And I never forget when Coach Patricia said, Lakendra, it's your time. It's time to tell your story. It's time. I was like, well, Coach. She was like, no, it is time. And I never forget. I was like, okay. She said, okay, I want you to submit your story. And I made sure I let her know, you know, when I submitted my story, and I wind up being one of those contestant winners. I wind up being one of those contestant winners. Coach Patricia, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. I just can't. I just can't. When I even took a break, y'all, when I took a break, I never forget, she did it again. She was like, she sent me some information, about some products. And when she sent it to me, not even an hour, I made and I'm not gonna disclaim the amount, okay? But
Okay.
I made a whole lot of money, right? So that was my cue. She is truly God sent. She is truly God sent. God sends you who you need when you need them. And like I said, I don't know what it is about her, but I do know she is just what heaven sent, for me and my family. And we will forever be grateful. That's just
To
it.
God be the glory. Yeah.
That's it. And I thank you so much. And I love you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Bobby, for bringing
Love
my
you,
coach
beautiful.
on. Correct.
All right. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much,
goodness.
Patricia, for coming on. I appreciate this so much. So
Such
much.
a
Absolutely.
blessing. Thank you so much again, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is bananas.
So now we're gonna attempt to move forward.
Wow. Wow.
We're
Wow.
gonna,
Wow. Wow.
what I want to do, because what I don't want to do, and I think sometimes we miss the essence of the story because we get hung up in the trauma of a story.
Right.
Everybody has their issues. I've had mine. Um, we understand the edema. We understand the weight gain, and not to blow that off, because you've had a tremendous transformation. If anybody look at those pictures, it's undeniable, undeniable. How, what was your starting weight when you started this journey, and then when you won, you was a winner as far as the transformation contest is concerned. What was your beginning weight? What was that weight at the start?
The weight at the start was 263 pounds.
Wow. Wow.
Wearing a
And
size, wearing a size 24, and then me, I was wearing like between a 42 and a 44.
wow. Wow. And I can look at you today. And this is important. And this is why this interview is different, because we're 3 years after winning. And we can look at you now and still see you winning.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of this thing, because it's one thing to actually be driven by the emotion to take the weight off initially. But what's even more important, and this is where, if I don't drive home any other point with this podcast, this is truly about a total life change. This is not just about losing a whole bunch of weight, because
Right.
when you make a total life change, that means that you've also made it a lifestyle. And as a result of your lifestyle, we're able to look at you today, 3 years later, and say, Lakendra is still winning. Just talk a
Okay.
little bit about that process.
Wow. Um, well, for me, it was a mindset. It was a mindset. You have to shift. When we are in places where we're emotionally broken. I heard a
Mhm.
message actually this morning, um, God blessed bread before the bread was blessed, and then he broke it, right? And out of brokenness comes a blessing, right? And when you are mentally broken, when you are physically broken, when
Mhm.
you are emotionally broken, right? Financially broken,
Right.
right? It's still a blessing in it. But here
Right.
is the thing: the mind has to be made up.
Correct.
The mind has to say, you know what, because like you said, it's not really about losing a bunch of weight, right? It's not, and I don't knock nobody, however you get, however it comes off, that's fine. But guess what? If it's not up here, and here's the crazy part, it's already here, right? It's in here, but it's this right here. It's this right here. I walked away 2018 at 192 pounds.
Wow.
192 pounds. And today, I'm only 8 pounds shy of that 192 pounds. And
So you've maintained this whole
yes,
time.
I have. Yes, I have.
That's amazing. That is incredible all within itself, because see, in 3 years, in 3 months, in 3 weeks, in 3 days, in 3 hours, a whole lot of life can happen that can actually alter that.
Yes.
And throw that off course.
Yes.
So this experience is very real, it's very human. And going through the process of dropping and releasing that weight is an experience all within itself. But there are many lessons that you learn after that that help strengthen your position. And here's the deal. There are going to be times that you're just going to fall off. That's part of the process. But see, this is what's going to determine how you're going to win. How fast you get back on.
That's it.
That's the deal. So you're going to fall off.
That's it.
But it's up to you on how fast you get back on, because this is part of the human experience. This is story building for the rest of your life. It just doesn't end once you done drop the weight initially.
That's true.
And when you are a transformation contest winner, and only a handful of us understand this when I say this, but we are looked at an entirely different level. There's a different expectation after that particular point. I'll never forget, and I always say this. I heard Mr. John LeCarry speak on a leadership Zoom, and he said that with exposure comes responsibility. And so not only do you have the responsibility for yourself, but because we're out here and people are watching our stories, we have to be mindful that we don't become a stumbling block to somebody else.
That is so true.
So even though we may fall, they also need to see how quick we get back on.
That is so true. That is so true. And again, for me, like I said, mentally, that's just where it started, and then I once I shifted, even spiritually, right? Even spiritually, once I shifted my mindset, I just kept going, I kept going because, like I shared, with my TLC family in 2018 is I felt free, and guess what? I was at the point in 2018, even though I was, divorced. But here's what I'm saying. I was still married when I lost my first 7 pounds, right? I was still, the lymphedema was still there, right? But here's the thing. I just kept going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. And then too, mentally, we got to stop believing the lies. We have to stop believing. I had some things said to me that crushed my spirit. It crushed my spirit. But a part of me was like, you know what? You got to keep going. You got to keep going. And when like I was stating, before Coach got off, when I transitioned from, and that's how the enemy does. I had just came from Los Angeles in April. I come up here, right, to be with my daughter for a gender reveal, and I wind up having to pack up everything I had to move up here, right? To only come here, leave a whole condo, leave all this, this atmosphere, this of happy, and I got my happy back, and I got my joy back, right? To come up here and sleep on the floor? Are you kidding me? And guess what I did? I fell off. right? I fell off. Right? Because my mind was somewhere else. But in the back of my mind, you can't forget about you. You cannot forget about you. And here's what I would say too, because it's really not like you, because you mentioned in the beginning that a lot of people think this is magic. This is not magic. It's just a made up mind, right? And I did. I went back to, doing the things because it's a lifestyle. I went back to walking. I went back because that's all I could do. A lot of people, they put so many stipulations on transformation. No, honey, you just do a little bit, right? And like I said, I never forget when Coach Patricia reached out to me, to me again. And I've been here for the last now, almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so many, I noticed there's a trait that happens with a lot of us who are going through these transformations. One of the reasons why we let ourselves go is because, and you actually said something to this effect at the beginning, that we've been there for everybody and everything, and next thing you know, we empty.
Right.
And once again, it goes back to, you can't be anything to anyone until you are everything to yourself.
Amen. That is so true.
And I am an advocate of having an abundant life, a life of abundance. And I'm just not talking about the life of abundance as it pertains to material wealth. I'm talking about having an abundance of joy, having an abundance of a peace of mind, and also too having an abundance in your bank account. I would much rather, if I'm going to give to you, I'd much rather give to you from the overflow that is sitting in my saucer.
That's all right.
Because if I happen to need something, I know that my cup is full and I can take care of me. Right. Because if I don't take care of me, eventually it's going to be a problem where me don't exist no more, and I won't be able to help nobody. So we have to embrace a life of abundance. I love the way that the CEO, Mr. Jack Fallon, he talks about I remember hearing him talking about, why he even came up with these transformation contests, because he wanted to tell the stories. He wanted to tell the whole picture. He wants to give a 360-degree experience. That's why this year the theme is mind, body, and spirit, because this is a complete work. This is a complete transformation. We have to be willing to put in the work. I tell people all the time, and I can see the same thing in you. The reason why we're seeing what we're seeing on the outside is because you have been willing to put in the work that it takes on the inside. So this is just as much, if not more, an inner job than anything else on the outside. So I just commend you for staying the course. Every now and then we might have to take a break, but you jump right back in, and you're bigger and better than ever than you was before. And I applaud people that recognize, man, I done fell off, man, I'm getting back on. That takes another level of heart, because it's real easy to stay discouraged and then use excuses as a crutch.
Right.
And that's where a lot of us get hung up at, not only in our weight loss journey, but also even in our business.
Yes.
Yeah, that might be a difficult word for some folk to swallow, but man, before I had to give it to you, I had to give it to me. So I've had this type of conversation in the mirror. Right. So you're not by yourself. I am just absolutely loving where I'm seeing you go. As far as your business, your personal life.
Yes.
I see that book.
Yes.
I see the book cover. I see all that. All I want to know is that before you get too big, can a brother get an autograph? That's all I want to know.
Yes. I got you, Mr. Bobby. I got you.
Now, right here, we get ready to close out. But I noticed a particular behavior, and I became real conscious of it, especially after the transformation contest, because people get in contact with you and they begin telling you their story. And what I've noticed is that they'll tell you their story and you will encourage them with solutions, but they want to keep you in your story as if you still walking in that painful place. And that's not who we are. That's not who you are. That's not who I am. That's not who anyone who has actually made the effort, whether you're a transformation contest winner or not. But
Right.
what happens is that there are certain individuals that have become accustomed to being a victim. They have developed that lifestyle so much that you have to question whether or not they carry around their own body chalk, because they just have developed their whole life around being a victim. What can you say to those individuals that kind of help assist them in moving along? But that's only if they're interested, because there are some folk who's not interested in actually becoming victorious, because their whole personality, their whole essence has been shaped around everything bad that has happened to them, and they never move forward in life. And they have made a conscious decision to stay there. I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the folks that even though they've done similar, but deep down inside, they know there's better. There's more to this. What word do you have to encourage them to make that transition from being a victim to victorious?
Ooh, I can think of a few, but one of them, I'm gonna just say trust God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say trust God. You know, I often share with people, because we can't do anything on our own, right? We can't. And this is just me. You know, I had to get to a place to where I just solely said, you know what, I'm gonna trust God, because nothing that Lakendra is doing, you know, it's working, right?
Mm-hmm.
And iron sharpening iron. Okay. You have to put yourself in a position, because God are going to send you people, right? And when you don't understand how the Holy Spirit moves, it's something in you that's called discernment.
Mm-hmm.
You may not can identify what it is, but you know if it's right.
Right.
You know if it's right. And like you said, everybody don't want right? But you know, you can feel it within your fiber. You can feel it within your being that this feels right. And you may not like it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's right. Because he uses people, right? He uses people, right? And I would say you have to just trust God. You have to trust God. You just have to. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard something the other day. There's an enemy assigned to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's an enemy assigned to you that wants you to stay stuck. But God's children are not stuck, right? We fall, but guess what? We get up, like Mr. Bobby said. Like you said, we get up. But, and like I said, I just keep hearing, you just got to trust God. You got to trust God. You have to. And he loves us. God loves us. He loves us. So if I can say anything, it would just be to just trust God. It really would be just trust God.
That is more than enough if we can just get to that place.
Yeah.
We get ready to end, but I'm going to publicly just make this observation. One of the things I really appreciate about you, and I noticed this in other winners, is that you could go through all types of hell, and there's a difference in between telling your story while you're still in it. There's still a power in doing that because you're gathering your courage, but you're still in that story. But it's an entirely different ball game when you have made that transition from actually telling your story, standing in it, to telling your story, standing on top of it. And I want to tell you, Lakendra, you are telling your story on top of it. You're on top of it because you got the victory. And that is where we have the biggest influence. So I applaud you. I honor you. I congratulate you. And I only see nothing but up. So once again, I want to thank you for just taking the time out.
Thank you
for coming on this podcast. This has blessed me tremendously, immensely. This is a special moment in many ways for me. And oh my goodness. So if you need me for anything, just reach out. That's all I got to say. Just reach out. So I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast here. Thank you for each and every one of you who have taken the time out this evening to watch another The Victim No More podcast. Of course, next week I have another powerful story that you just going to be like, wow, really? Because another purpose of highlighting this, telling these stories is to let people know, hey, look, you're not in this by yourself. You're not in this by yourself.
Right. No, you're not.
And the whole 360 experience that Total Life Changes provides. For me, I know I could not have done it anywhere else. And there's some great companies. There's some great companies out here. So there's no shade to anybody else's company, so forth and so on. All I know is that my assignment is here.
Amen.
Because my prosperity, my provision, and my success is in my assignment.
Yes.
A lot of times we can't get to where we need to go and do what we need to do to get what we're supposed to have because we are so rebellious about getting to our assignment. I almost missed my assignment because I didn't want to come back to Total Life Changes. I don't want to do that again. Oh, but obedience is far, 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 far better than sacrifice. And I am so glad that I came back because if I didn't, I would not experience what I am experiencing now.
Yes, right.
So, whoever's watching this, whoever's listening to this, be encouraged.
Yes.
And just know that you are loved. And as a matter of fact, I love each and every one of you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Absolutely. Until next time, be blessed. Lakendra, please hold on.
Okay.
This is
wow.
This
like this.